Okay, so hopefully that you have filled up all your blocks and experimented with your watercolor. Now it's time to do the very last one. Down here we did dry brush. And dry brush is used for detail. So let me show you what I mean. If I get a color and I want to get some nice fine lines, and if I brush, there's going to be, it's a pretty wide line and pretty wet. What I want to do is I want to make sure that it's not quite that wet and I can get a finer point out of my brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and get my color that I want. In this case, I'm using green. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up against a piece of paper. And as you can see, what that did is that drew out the water. So if there's no water in my brush, it is now a dry brush. Now look at the difference when I paint the green. Look at that nice skinny line that I can paint with the green and do my detail work with, right? So it's a lot easier to work with when you have a dry brush to do detail. This is probably the only time that you will use black in here. So when, if you want to use some detail to bring out some things with black, I'll let you use black with the detail brush. But don't use black with anything else, okay? All right, if you want to darken up a color, I would use maybe a little bit of brown, maybe a little bit of purple. One of the dark colors over here will help darken up your color a little bit. If you want to go keep kind of a brightness to it, I would use complementary colors. If you want to darken up a red, use a green, or if you want to darken up a green, use red. If you want to darken up a blue, use orange, or if you want to darken an orange, use blue. If you want to darken up a yellow, use a little bit of purple. If you want to darken up a purple, use a little bit of yellow, okay? And that will help get you a little bit of shading done with your watercolors. All right, so now we're off to actually do our watercolor.